Welcome to sportsbookreview.com. I'm Flash, and this is your home of baseball. It was Taiwanese and South Korean. Now it's South Korean and Japanese. The NPB is now, well, I'd say fully underway after the first 4 games. And Jason Radowitz is my man. He's found plenty value already. We had the Deuce Bears as a banker yesterday, over 5.5. That came in just nice. But before we get underway, let's say that if you like this video, then please subscribe, press the button, ring the bell. If you ring the bell, then we can notify you and you'll never miss any content again. And if you press the link in the description, then we'll take you over to Jay's articles, and not just Jay's articles, but all the writers, all the articles, all the sports. You'll have a great time over there. Jay, how are you, mate? And how did the midnight treat you?
Yeah, it was a fun morning. I told everyone to go deuce and heavy anyway, quadfecta, and I hit all those deuce and ones hit. So even me personally, I put a little bit extra on that deuce and to spice it up a little bit. Had some fun with that. But we did have a game between the Kia Tigers. They were up 3-1 in the 9th inning, and they blew the game, lost 4-3, and that hurt a lot of parlays I saw on Twitter. So that was brutal. But in the NPB, we won 2 out of the 3. We're now 8-4 in those first 4 days, which is really good for the Japanese league. And we're moving on with it all.
Well, in the Pacific Division, remember, they're going to play 6 games in a row. So this, what we talk about today, will be number 2 of 6. In the Central Division, it'll be 2 of 3. And in the KBO, it will be 2 of 3 also. So should we just get cracking, straight underway? And we're going to go Marines and Buffaloes, please, Jay.
Yeah, so this one was interesting in the morning. We had a walk-off win for the Marines. The Marines were up 3-0. Then it was 5-4 in the 9th inning. And, of course, the Buffaloes blew that game, and the Marines won. But we had the Marines, so something went our way for once, which was really fun. We were able to celebrate a walk-off win in the morning, which we don't get to do very often. So that was a lot of fun. But here in this one, I would lean towards the Marines, -140. Also lean towards the over 8 in this matchup. Both pitchers have about a 4.31 ERA. Both allow around 9 hits per game. So if you're looking at about potentially 18 hits in that game in total for both teams, I like the over 8 in this matchup. It's the smallest number in this slate in terms of over/under. I think it's too low for this matchup, even with pitching being better in the Pacific League. I would definitely go with over 8 as the lean in this one, as well as the Marines -140.
Okay, let's move on then. What have got the Rakuten Eagles and the Nippon Fighters?
Yeah, so this one we're also going to lean towards Nippon at +110, over 8.5 as a lean as well. Kawano Rusi of the Nippon Fighters, he's supposed to be the top prospect, pitching prospect in the league. He was drafted first overall or first pick last season in the draft. Now he's going to go. He's got the 5th starter spot for Nippon Fighters. I don't know what we're going to expect out of him, but I do like how he's an underdog. He's obviously got a lot more talent compared to Hideki Wakui. He's actually 34 years old, going up against Rusi, who's a very young guy, can't even drink in the United States if he were to come here. So yeah, I would lean towards Nippon at +110. I think there's a lot more value with the talented pitcher for Nippon. But again, we don't know what we're going to expect out of him. Don't know if he'll perform well or he'll falter in this spot. So I would stay away, but I think there's a lot of value with the prospect pitcher going for Nippon.
Okay, what about the Lions and the Hawks? Because the Lions, they had their way with the Hawks this morning and got in front and didn't look back.
Yeah, that was kind of annoying. We had the Hawks in that one, but I'm going to make an official play and go right back to the Hawks on this one at around -115. Shuta Ishikawa, in his career in the NPB, he's 21-9. That's a 3.42 ERA. He's only allowed 3.66 runs per 9 innings in 78 games in the league. He's here's the thing that I thought caught my attention the most. Tatsui Imiya, I don't know how to say his name. Forgive me, but in 23 games, he had 72 walks last season. So 72 walks. Now Ishikawa of the Hawks had 93 walks in 78 games. So in 93 walks, 78 games. But then for Emi, 23 games, 72 walks. He's going to walk a lot of batters. He's walked almost 5 batters per 9 innings, which is a ridiculous number. His whip is 1.47. Ishikawa's career numbers is 1.22. Ishikawa actually didn't play last season, probably due to injury. I couldn't figure it out. I was researching for 5-10 minutes, couldn't figure out what happened to him. He only played in 2 games in 2019, also played 2 games in the minors. But in 2018, he went 13-6, and he performed pretty well in 2018. So I'm assuming it was injuries in 2018, but it looks like he'll be healthy for 2020 after a 2019 season where he didn't play. So SoftBank Hawks -115. Also lean towards under 9.5 in this matchup. If you want to look at the over-unders.
Okay, well, let's move on to the Central Division. Are we going to get a handle on whether the Central or the Pacific Division is the strongest?
Yeah, right now I think it's pretty obvious that Central is hitting a lot more, but it's pretty obvious that the Pacific is pitching a little bit better. So usually better pitching beats better hitting, but I'm sure we'll get interleague play towards the end of the season. I'm not really sure what that entails, because with pandemic, I'm not sure if they're going to be doing interleague play. Usually they do. I'm not entirely sure if they're actually going to be playing interleague play this season, but I would assume they would later on in the season. But yeah, I mean, right now I don't think either league is better. Like I said, the Central is more hitting, Pacific's more pitching. And that's just how it's been the first 4 games. Okay,
well, let's just generalize then. We'll go with Pacific being the unders and the Central being the overs. But obviously when they move them gauges too far, too low, we'll go over. Okay, we've got the Swallows and the Tigers, Jay.
Yeah, so we saw the Tigers finally win their first game of the season. We were on that as an official play, so that was a lot of fun. But I think we're going to go now to the Yakult Swallows for this one. It will be a lean, though. Yakult will be -120 as a lean. We'll also look at the under 9 in this matchup. We've got 2 import pitchers going up against each other. With Albert Suarez for Yakult, he only played in 4 games last season. He had a 1.53 ERA and a .90 WHIP. And then Joe Gunkel, this will be his first season in the NPB, pitched in the minor leagues last season in the MLB minors. Went 8-2 with a 3.8 ERA in 19 games. He looks pretty good too, so I don't really know what to expect out of Gunkel. Suarez, he's been around this league a little bit longer and more, so I would go with the Swallows at -120 as a lean. Also lean towards under 9 with 2 import pitchers going at it. Even though we're in the Central League, I do think that both these pitchers will pitch better in this one.
Yeah, just a lean though, so just remember that it's just a lean, especially going under 9 in the Central Division. We're going to stay there. We're going to go with the Baystars and the Dragons, Jay.
Yeah, this is I got an official play with the Dragons at -114. If you look at the over-unders, I would even look at taking under for the Baystars, 4.5 in this one. It's a little early to kind of screw around and try to find these little leans and whatever not. But Takumi Yamamoto played in 9 games last season, had a 2.98 ERA, didn't allow 1 unearned run in those 9 starts. What's interesting with him is he won't strike out many batters. He has 5.4 strikeouts per 9 innings, 4.8 walks per 9 innings. What he does do is soft contact, right? So the ball will be in play. He won't let up too many homers, even though the ball will be in play. The remarkable thing is with the Dragons last season, they had the highest fielding percentage in the league. So behind him, he has a really good field, a lot of position players that are good at fielding, which will help him, be able to get those outs when the balls are in play. He'll go up against Tsuyoshi Ino of the Baystars. Yeah, he went 4-5 last season, 4.76 ERA, 5.53 runs per 9 innings. In 15 games, he allowed 9.5 hits. Doesn't strike out too many batters as well. His walks are 1 lower than Yamamoto, but nothing really stands out when it comes to him. The Dragons are hitting .302 in the first 4 games of the season. They're the highest batting average on the season so far in the league. I like this matchup against Iono, and I think Yamamoto is a solid pitcher, and I think that my official play will be the Dragons at -114 in this one.
Yeah, and obviously we've got to start somewhere with the team totals, and under 4.5 for the Baystars. Come on then, come on the Dragons, keep them to under 4 runs. Now the Giants, obviously the best side on the very early stages, but listen, they may well be the best side in about 116 games time as well. So it's the Giants versus Hiroshima Carp.
Yeah, this is already getting a little out of hand now. The Giants are already minus 150 on the money line. You haven't really seen that with any teams yet at minus 150. Well, the Giants are now 4-0. They're undefeated, but this pitching matchup's a lot closer than the minus 150. Although I think the Giants are going to win, it's still a lean at minus 150. I think there's obviously more value taking Hiroshima Carp here, just because the pitching matchup's pretty even, and the Giants are going to have to lose at some point, right? But yeah, Arin Curry of Hiroshima has a 3.51 ERA last season through 27 games. So he was really consistent, played a lot of games, had a 1.25 whip, allowed 8.2 hits per 9 innings. And then on the other hand, Christopher Caruso Tomo of the Giants, he had a 3.52 ERA, 3.66 runs allowed per 9 innings, had a higher whip at 1.37 and allowed 10.2 hits per 9 innings. So at the pitching matchup, Curry might have a little bit of the advantage. We know the Giants have much better advantage in terms of hitting the ball. So I would lean towards the Giants and lean towards under 8.5. Both these guys have been pretty consistent in terms of pitching. So I think that this game will go under 8.5 as a lean. But again, these are both leans. It's really, this one's a little bit harder. Already 5 or 4 games into the season, this one I had a little trouble with.
Come on then, we're looking for the minus 1.5s. We've not found them yet, although the Giants could easily win that, maybe 5-2. Oh, what is the Hiroshima Carp team total? Do you know off the top of your head?
It should be about 4.5.
So, I mean, we could even go under 4.5 for the Carp. But anyway, let's kick on to the KBO because that's where we love it. Because we've got a bit of a rhythm going. It's the Wiz and the Dinos, Jay.
Yeah, so we saw a really good matchup this morning between the Dinos and the Wiz. The Dinos won 4-3 in a nice pitching matchup that went under, even with 2 solid hitting teams. This one has the feel of an over game with Kim Min-soo on the mound for the KT Wiz. He has a 7.97 ERA and a 4.81 FIP. But that's the interesting thing. Like, he has a 7.97 ERA, but just a 4.81 FIP. And that's because his batting average of balls in play is almost 500, which means when balls are in play, it's a hit 50% of the time, which is just unrealistic, and it should go down at some point. But that also shows you that Min-soo is getting hit hard, right? He's getting hit in the gaps, hard hit balls left and right. And the Dinos, they're a great hitting team, especially when it comes to hard hit contact. So I would lean towards the NC Dinos over 6.5 against Kim Min-soo. And then Mike Wright's on the mound for the Dinos, so I like the Dinos at minus 195. Mike Wright had a really poor outing in his last outing. He allowed 7 runs in that outing in his last game, but I think he'll rebound from that. I do think the KT Wiz will score a couple runs on him, but I think that the Dinos will score plenty more and hit that over team total of 6.5, which is around plus 105 a juice, which is pretty solid for the Dinos.
Yeah, without a doubt. And what's the total for the game?
The total's around 9.5.
We've got to go over that as well, surely to God.
Yeah, that would be a lean as well. Yeah, the only thing I'd be scared about is Mike Wright on the mound. I think he will rebound. I'm not sure if he'll rebound all the way, but I think he'll rebound. So that's the only thing I'd be worried about. Mike Wright, he's been really good, been a little bit lucky, and Kim Min-soo has been really bad, but he's been a little bit unlucky. So it's a pretty interesting matchup because both these guys have FIP of 4.81 and 4.82. So it seems a lot closer than it might look like on a box score or on a sheet. But I still think Mike Wright's the better pitcher, and I still think the Dinos are a much better hitting team than the KT is.
Okay, that's the Dinos. I think they get Dinos team total and the main one at 9.5s. But then we're going to go Twins and the Heroes.
Yeah, so we took the Twins this morning, and they didn't look too good, which was kind of shocking in a way. Yeah, they allowed 8 runs to Kiwoom, and Kiwoom has kind of been, their offense hasn't been that good. and they were able to knock some home runs around and have a field day against the Twins. The Twins are kind of faltering just a little bit now. They've lost a couple of bats in their lineup, and they're not performing nearly as well, especially with Roberto Ramos, who's also not performing right now either. Everyone goes in slumps, but that he's in a bigger slump than we would like at this point. I would still lean towards the Twins in this one at minus 150. I'd also lean towards Kiwoom under 4.5 team total with Tyler Wilson on the mound for LG. Wilson has a 4.18 ERA and then a 3.84 FIP. He's been one of the better import pitchers in the league so far. He hasn't been getting a little bit lucky in terms of the LG Twins scoring for him, but he's been pretty good as of late. Then Lee Seung-ho will go for Kiwoom, has a 5.05 ERA, a 5.2 FIP. So he's basically what he is, and what he is not very good. So the LG Twins, their offense hasn't been that great, but I do think that they'll be able to perform against Lee Seung-ho in this one. So I would lean towards LG Twins minus 150, also lean towards Kiwoom under 4.5 in that one.
Yeah, listen, the Twins, they're too good. They are too good to be going on a downward spiral. And if they are going to go on, I don't think it's going to be off a cliff. They're going to still win games. LG Twins for me all day long. Now, the Giants and the Tigers, Lottie got a job done.
Yeah, what's with these lucky Giants winning at home? I think that's like 7 in a row. They're like 13-5 at home throughout the season. And this team isn't very good in terms of like hitting. Dan Straley's on the mound for the Lucky Giants, and in his last 5 games, he's allowed 4 runs. In his last 5 games, he's allowed 4 runs, which is incredible. He's doing a great job. But you know what's even crazier? He hasn't got a single win in those 5 games, allowing 4 runs, hasn't got a single win. All 5 have been no decisions. So it's been really hard for the Lucky Giants to score runs while Straley's on the mound. So I love this play. Official play under first 5, 4.5. Under 4.5 in the first 5 would be the play. If you can get 5.5, that's even better. This is at the juice at plus 107. Lee Min Woo will take the mound for Kia. He pitched really well against the Lucky Giants in his first outing. He's been pretty poor in his last 3, but I think he'll rebound against a pretty poor Giants offense. So I like the under 4.5 in the first 5 in this one with Straley just absolutely destroying in his starts in the last 5.
I always love to wake up and see that the Samsung Lions have reminded the Hammer Eagles of how bad they are.
Well, yeah, this is that was an interesting one, and Samsung they're going with Hyu Yoon-dong, who's been really, really, really lucky this season. He has a 3.6 ERA and a 6.54 FIP, but then Jang Shi-hwan of Hanwha got a 6.89 ERA and a 5.75 FIP. So both these pitchers are really poor. They're really bad. But again, Hanwha's hitting has been really bad. Samsung, they come alive sometimes and they're just quiet some other times. So, yeah, this one's tough for me. I'm going to lean both ways. I'm not touching this game because I really don't know what's going to happen with these terrible pitchers on the mound and the hitting that inconsistently with Samsung and the really bad hitting with Hanwha. So I would lean towards Samsung. If you were to take it, obviously I can't touch Hanwha, but I'd also go over 10.5 with 2 pitchers with an FIP of over 5.75 each. So, yeah, I don't think Yoon-dong, he's got 4 strikeouts in 3 games, 8 walks in those 3 games. He's been pretty bad. Somehow he's got a 3.6 ERA. That's not going to last, even against Hanwha. So over 10.5 would be a lean as well, but yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. I'm staying away from it because I don't know what the heck's going to happen.
Yeah, Lions minus 1.5 against the Eagles. Anyone who plays the Eagles, just go minus 1.5 and you will definitely be in profit. Now, the Wyverns and the Bears had the Bears right across the board. Woke up this morning, the banker was in the bag, over 5.5 team total.
Yeah, I think it's kind of funny. Like we joke around about Hanwha all the time. The SK Wyverns are only just 2 more games than Hanwha has. So SK's got 12 wins and Hanwha's got 10 wins. So we got to start picking fun at SK Wyverns because they look horrible too. So that's why I'm going with Deuce and Bears on the money line as an official play. Also going with Deuce and Bears team total 5.5 as an official play. We're going double dipping on the Bears again because, man, these Bears are tough on the road. They're really good hitting wise on the road. And what's funny is Yu Kwan of the Deuce and Bears. He's got a 3.68 ERA, a 5.12 FIP. He's got 15 strikeouts and 16 walks in 8 games. So he's averaging like 3 strikeouts per 9 innings. He's not getting any strikeouts, but he's getting low contact, not hard at all. And he's 5-1 on the year, which means the Houston Bears are hitting the ball when he's pitching. He's getting run support. Like Straley's not getting run support for the Lucky Giants. He gets the run support. So I like the Houston Bears team total 5.5. They're going up against Park Jung-hoon of SK. He's been really good. Like, he's been pretty good. 48 strikeouts, 17 walks, 4.4 ERA, and a 3.9 FIP. But we got to talk about how great this Bears offense is on the road. They've been unbelievable. And I think that Houston Bears team total 5.5 is just ridiculous for against a team that's only won 12 games this season. And even Jung-hoon can't perform. Hasn't done well in his last 2 games. He only went 4.2 innings in both starts in his last 2. Hasn't got to the 5th inning in those last 2 starts. So, yeah, I'm all over Houston on this one again. And obviously, you'll know as we move forward, this is probably a banker play. Wink, wink.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I've gone Bears minus 1.5 as well. The thing is, we've got to remember about the Bears is they will be in the top 2 come the end of the season. So they're going to have to go on an almighty march. And we're talking about the Eagles and the Wyverns. The reason that the Eagles, because they've got no form. 18, did they lose 17 or 18 in a row, Jay?
No, they didn't, but they've looked as bad, though. If you're watching the games,
I'm sure it was 18.
Just as bad.
I'm sure it was 18. The Eagles are so bad. 18. Might be 19, in fact. Anyway, listen, give us a rundown. If there's a parlay, give us it. Don't have to have a parlay, but I need a banker, please, mate.
Yeah, so the official plays will be the Chunichi Dragons at minus 114 over the Baystars. In that matchup, another official play in the NPB will be the SoftBank Hawks at minus 115 over the Seibu Lions in the NPB. And those are the only 2 official plays in the NPB for today's show. Then we're going to the Kia Tigers Lucky Giants game. We're going to look at the under 4.5 in the first 5 at plus 107 as an official play in that matchup. And then in the Houston Bears SK Wyverns game, we're going to double dip, go Houston Bears team total at 5.5. Also look at the Bears on the money line at around minus 162. But I've seen that people have been getting the Houston Bears at crazy numbers. I saw people getting at minus 135. So definitely shop around to make sure that you're getting the best Houston Bears line, because minus 135 is absolutely ridiculous against the SK Wyverns. Just to point that out. Obviously, the banker will be the Houston Bears everything. So Houston Bears team total 5.5 and Houston Bears on the money line, whichever one you want to make as your banker play, feel free to do it because they're both are going to hit.
And also to Houston Bears at minus 1.5, Jay. Now, please, if you like this video and you want us to continue doing these videos, then I need you to subscribe, press the button and ring the bell. You ring the bell, then we'll notify you of any content and you'll never miss a baseball or soccer or any other show again. And if you press the link in the description, then that will take you to Jay's articles, and there's plenty for you to go over and read. It's not just Jay's articles, though. There's plenty other writers. There's plenty other sports. Now, Jay, come on the Bears. Let's fade the Eagles, and let's try and get a handle on some of these teams in the NPB. You go well tonight, and we'll go well again tomorrow.
That sounds like a plan. I'm excited.
Cheers, Jay. So that's Jay going through the Japanese baseball and the South Korean KBO. Thanks for joining us. May every bet be a winner, and we'll see you again tomorrow. You take care.